last time we came to you, we were basically telling you about the fact that Texas wanted to ban junk food, right? And the young lady, she was having a fit about the junk food being banned via using food stamps. Well, as of today, we have a new update. Can't wait to share it with you.
Here in Texas, the Senate has just passed a bill that stops people who receive SNAP benefits from using them to buy certain junk foods. Senate Bill 379 passed with an overwhelming 22-8 vote, and now it heads to the House. The move is aimed at making sure that SNAP benefit recipients aren't purchasing extra processed products with no nutritional value, like chips, soda, energy drinks, cookies, and
Wow, talk about a short video, but straight to the point.
Straight to the point, that's right.
So I think it's fair enough to say that they actually impose the bill.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm very glad to hear that, because being healthy nowadays is just pretty much the way to go.
Exactly. It shouldn't be an option. You know what I'm saying? With 22-8 votes, 8 votes being for it, 22 being against it, and now the bill is about to be finalized because it's going to be headed to the House of Representatives to make that finalized decision. That's crazy.
Okay.
Wow. I think there's going to be a lot of mad or pissed off Texans, right?
Why should they?
I think they're going to be moving pretty soon.
Listen,
Forget the affordable rent, right?
We always say, without, how can you have wealth without health?
Exactly.
They go together, so why are you mad?
So, Bill 379 has been passed.
Okay.
Wow. And I could only anticipate, right, that with it starting in Texas, it's going to trickle down to the other states.
For sure.
And
in due time.
It just simply means, right, if you get benefits and cash assistance as well alongside the food stamps, then you're going to have to take that cash assistance and allocate it towards the junk food, or make a so-called pimp decision and figure out, what do you want most? Do you want to use the cash to pay your assumed bills, right? Assuming that's what you're going to do. Or do you just want to skip out and owe the bill and take some of that, you know, cash assistance and buy some junk food? Or is this a way, because they know that most of us like junk food, is that a way to get people off of the system by taking away what they love most?
Well, first of all,
could be, right?
First of all, junk food sells.
Oh yeah.
We all know that junk food sells
if it
faster
didn't sell,
than something that's healthy.
It wouldn't be. If junk food did not sell,
it
would not be a market for it.
Yes.
Junk food has been around since the beginning of time.
1924,
right.
as I would say.
I've heard many times in the past that they were gonna cut out the whole junk food situation, right? Especially with food stamps. But I never thought it would actually come a day where that law will be applied.
I'm actually glad that they're taking the initiative to show concern back to the people of the state, you know?
Exactly.
The fact that they're actually stepping forward to make sure that everything is done healthy-wise and appropriate, it says a lot.
To be honest with you, I remember they also said at one point that they were also going to cut out the purchase of
hot foods.
Well, they did cut out the hot foods in New York City. I don't know about the other states, right? Can't get a hot sandwich. You can get it cold, but not hot.
Right.
If you want, like, let's say, for instance, you go to like a bodega, which is very popular in New York City, right? And even New Jersey.
Right.
And they have like a section where they have like a small buffet where they offer like hot
meals,
mac and cheese, lasagna, fried chicken, whatever. You can't purchase your food stamps using that.
Correct.
Right? But
which is kind of crazy, right?
It is.
Like Texas is taking the junk food off the shelf,
right?
And
New York decades ago removed the hot food from the list of things to be purchased with food stamps.
But they're enforcing the junk food
for now. Like I said, it may
crazy,
just trickle down to the other states, because I think all states are trying to cut out the Junk Food Act.
Okay, and bring back the Hot Food Act. I
don't know. I used to always feel sorry for like the homeless people who had like a food stamp card.
Yes.
Because you're homeless, you want something warm to eat, right?
Right. When you don't have no place to cook it.
Right.
So the only place that you can go is to your local corner store, or whatever you might want to call it, to purchase that hot meal.
And then they turn and they tell you you can't purchase hot foods with the food stamps. And it's like, so to me it was like, dang, that's kind of mean.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? But
changes have to be made, and it has to be made all around.
Reform definitely has to be made at some point.
So we just have to look forward to it and kind of like understand it before we kind of dislike it. Some of it may be to your best benefit, and some may not be. But at the same token, there's value in, right?
Yes,
there's value
I agree.
in it. As far as the removal, what are they gonna do with all that junk food? Like, really, when they take it from the shelves and the manufacturers lose,
that's true.
What are they gonna do with this stuff? Ship it overseas? What are they doing with this stuff? I'm thinking.
I just want to know how far.
Where is it going?
Because in regards to what you said, I'm concerned as well. Because in regards to the No Junk Food Act,
Yes,
which includes no cookies, no chips, energy drinks, or soda. Right?
Now keep in mind, these are
those
big
things.
name corporations. Like,
so what about the Coca-Cola? What about the Pepsi? What about the Schweppes? Right? What about
no, leave the Schweppes alone. Yeah.
well, you can purchase it with using cash.
Okay,
so you're not going to be affected.
Okay,
he loves ginger ale. Okay.
Yes.
And when it comes to the cookies, and who doesn't love a cookie, right? And to be honest
I had
with
one
you,
yesterday, a very big one.
junk food is comforting.
Okay.
To say the least, right? But also, I gotta keep it real too, because the industry that I'm in, I do a lot of shopping. We do a lot of shopping.
Yeah.
And usually, depending on your state, when they allocate funds or benefits, right? You ask yourself, when you look at your surroundings, first of all, during that time period where benefits are distributed, the stores are way more crowded, right?
Yes.
A lot of times there's loud interactions going on between the people. Okay. I'll just say that.
Okay.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And thirdly, when you look at the shopping carts, some people call it buggies, we call it shopping carts. You could kind of tell who receives benefits.
Absolutely.
Like, all jokes aside. Okay. And when you use those eyes to scan that cart and look and be a little inquisitive, you see nothing but prepackaged foods.
Yes.
A lot of junk foods. I mean, Lord, the last time we went to the store, we seen someone who had 2 shopping carts. She was pushing one cart, the guy was pushing the other cart, and they were opening the refrigerator, and they're just loading the cart up with TV dinners and chips galore and hot dogs and oh Lord, everything under the sun. And I'm looking like, it's kind of crazy because, you're feeding yourself, you're feeding your kids, but it's just too much junk. It's just too much. And we also have to take into retrospect, right? The government wants to cut back down on medical expenses as well. And if you're eating garbage, you're putting all of this stuff in your body every month, day after day, month after month. Eventually, it may cause you to get sick, which would then cause you who is on Medicaid, right, which is another subsidy that's paying for your health care because you can't afford to even put into your health care to pay for yourself. So now it's like they're paying for your junk food, and now they have to turn around and pay for the fact that you're sick and pay your health, or should I say health insurance, with the intent, hopefully, that you get better, right? So it's just money being spent all around, and it's like, not to say a liability, but it's almost as if you could become like a liability. To the point where they have to just continuously keep paying for you, and it just gets no better. So yes, if we could allow you to become a little bit more healthier, it would rack up on less costly hypertension bills, diabetes bills. Not to mention, some people already have underlying conditions and shouldn't be eating certain foods as it is. A lot of family members have the hypertension, they have a history of this stuff, and it only takes you eating the same thing to end up with the same thing. So if you could maybe just pick up more healthier options, and it will help out a lot.
Kind of stop the overindulging. I mean, shout out to junk food. Junk food is it's more or less
comforting.
It's a quick thing to run to in comparison to having to stand there to prepare a full meal in order to get you fulfilled, right? So more or less, I could see why more people would run to junk food in comparison to just, like I said, standing there preparing a full meal. It's easy to get to.
But also, too, in all fairness, right? If you're going to cut out the junk foods and so on and so forth, I think maybe each grocery store, or maybe they should have like a QR code, right? That the government creates, where they create, I want to say maybe a channel or something, or of some sort, that allows people to be able to watch them. Like a nutritionist is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Maybe they should get a nutritionist to make nutritious foods,
right?
And
to make more
for everybody, right?
Because to eating it.
Exactly, because it's going to be hard for some people who've been eating junk food their entire life,
right,
to suddenly
just
shop for non-junk food items and even prepare that sort of stuff, right? Some people don't know how to prepare healthy foods. Believe it or not,
it's like transitioning from regular soda to a diet soda, which tastes very nasty, by the way.
Right. It's exactly, and it's it's kind of crazy, because to say the least, a lot of people, they don't have the experience on how to do certain things.
Correct.
So maybe the government should, like I said, get a nutritionist on board, create some healthy videos,
right,
where people who are now being just suddenly cold turkey cut off from junk food have a place to go, so they know how to shop.
Okay.
Right? And how to prepare what it is that they're shopping for at this current time.
Okay.
I think that would make sense.
We'll chalk that up. We'll chalk that up. But it will definitely, hopefully, it will cut down the obesity rate.
Yes.
A lot of the things that the government wants to put in place can be easier said than done, because of prior being comfort of just eating the same thing. You run to the kitchen cabinet for that favorite snack. Overall, if they would just minimize like some of the ingredients in the so-called junk food to make it a little bit more healthy for the body,
yes,
and still have to keep it around,
right,
I think the big name companies, they wouldn't really lose out so much, because the majority of the unhealthy ingredients within those snacks, sometimes it could just be fillers.
That's true.
It could just be artificial things that you're putting in there. So take some of that stuff out of there, and then
right. And you raised a great
resubmit your ingredient.
Yes.
What they call these things? Ingredient list to the government.
Yes, and get it approved accordingly.
Get it reapproved.
And you made a great point
over
when you said, what's going to happen to the foods that's not being purchased by the public assistance recipients.
Right.
Now the question is, now that makes me want to go dig in and kind of do like an analysis, right, to figure out who purchases more of the junk food. Is it people on public assistance, or people who are just shopping with their hard-earned cash, right? So that's a good I'm gonna go check that out, and I'll probably be making a second video about that, because if most of the junk food is being paid for by people who receive public assistance, then there's going to be some type of deficit or decline in, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the companies, they're going to be receiving less money, and can they afford to take the hit? That's
what I was just saying, because that's going to make a lot of those big name companies pretty upset. Upset, and I can see some form of a war happening, not in that extent, pow type of stupidness, but more or less like a debated war where
it's like
they've been around for generations, and now here this law comes, and it's going to be an issue.
Curious to find out, but anyway,
stay tuned.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Stay tuned. Whatever we comes to us, we'll go to you.
Yes, whatever we find out, we definitely keep you posted.
Definitely, guys.
Stay safe and have a beautiful and junk-free day. I'm just joking. I'm about to go eat me a cookie now.
Hey, shout out to the junk food eaters.